Hey, welcome back to the Tiger Sports Show. As we get ready to make a run around all things Hastings High sports and activities wise, I'm Greg Mays, and on the pom poms there is my little brother and co-host Tren Mays. What kind of week have you had, Trenner?
Oh, it's been an interesting week. I thought we'd celebrate nice little run that the boys basketball team's on. Break out the victory pom poms.
Yeah,
They're
I've
winning
got them winning their
6 out of
last
7.
6 of 7,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
big run
well,
there.
that's pretty good. Well, let's start there. Let's start with the boys. What did you see from them? Why are they on this roll?
Oh, there. I think he tightened the playing roster up a little bit. I think they're down to about 8 guys that they feel really confident in, which for a Hastings High team in the last 6, 7 years is probably a lot. And he's got good numbers and good depth. Everybody's finding their role. They're getting a lot of big 3-pointers from off the bench and stuff, and things are good. And they're just winning it with grit, defense, and rebounding. Those are my 3 big words.
All right. Yeah, I've been impressed with the defense. You like those numbers. They put up a 41 against Columbus, a
Yeah.
team that's playing a lot of Class A competition. They held Elkhorn North. I know a team that's not as powerful on the boys' side, but held them to 50. And even in the one loss they had, it's 54-43 to Aurora. I'm sure they'd like to have another chance at that kind of weird game that had to be rescheduled. But those are some good defensive numbers they're putting up. I thought early in the season, and a lot of teams look like this early in the season, their frontline defense looked good. And then once people broke them down in one place, they kind of fell apart. The things I've watched lately, they're starting to get those rotations down. They're starting to look a lot more solid in the second level defensively.
Yeah, their ball movement's amazing. They get it in and out to power into the younger block kid, who I call him the large fundamental because that dude's got some good fundamentals. He's hunting for the block record. He's getting close to Doug Brandt territory.
That's Doug's block
Yeah,
record.
53. He's in the
Oh,
he's like at 39. He averages about maybe 4 or 5 a game. They're getting just some great spot shooting from the threes when they move the ball around. And then the power kid's just gone nuts the last couple of weeks. He's decided, I'm bigger and stronger than you. This is my house, my lane. You're not going to
well,
do. And then the defense.
he's been playing for a while too. That confidence of
Yeah,
being on the varsity floor a bunch. He's probably on about game 50 some of his varsity
yeah,
career
he
now.
might he might
Yeah.
make that top 10 list for games played. And defense, we all know about how the Coach Stadge 40-point club. You give up 40 points or there's some, you're going to win a lot of games, and especially against Class A team. And Metro team's a Metro team. It's always nice to get a win over them because they don't really care much past Highway 77. So they,
Well, Elkhorn North, that'll be a conference member here next
yeah,
year.
I
They'll
just
be brothers
realized that.
brothers in arms with us.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's the good news side. The not as good news side is the schedule coming because
Oh,
they got some tough tests here coming. Um, they've got Scotts Bluff out at Mid Plains, first ever game against Scotts Bluff in the regular season, I think. Holiday
didn't they,
tournaments been the only time.
didn't they
Holidays,
play? They played
oh,
Scotts
the
Bluff
boys
two
play
years
them
ago
last.
in North Platte
Yeah,
last year because we went
okay.
out. We took our strive on the road. I think our strive is headed back out Thursday, Friday. We're hoping.
Well,
Uh,
good deal.
I have a little thing about Scotts Bluff. They just
Yeah.
lost to Gehring. Can you
Oh,
tell me
wow.
how long was that streak from over the weekend? Scotts Bluff over Gehring.
How long had it been?
Yeah, since
I
they
bet it
beat
had
them.
been, I bet it hadn't been this century. I bet it was in the 1900s.
No, it's 15 years.
Oh, 15. So
Yeah.
not as bad as I
Well,
thought.
there was a big party at Gehring on last weekend. Coach Daniels.
21 games in 15 years, 21 in a row they've lost. Wow.
Oh
And
yeah,
and the producer
just
reminds me
great.
they played Alliance out in North Platte, not in Scotts
Oh,
Bluff.
okay, we were
I'm
wrong.
right.
So it's
I'm
all
right
right.
again.
It's a game. They have a lot of point games coming up. Them, they've got. They're going to have the Norris reschedule. It's a good grind, but the boys are really pumped and excited. There's a lot of fired up people going to the games now, and the kids are getting involved in it. And
Well, that's good, but
a lot
boy,
of
they got some tests.
Oh yeah, we'll just time to step up.
You got to pick up some win points somewhere.
Yeah, 7-6 is good, but it's time to putt for dough. So,
well, right now the boys are sitting 17th, so they're out of the district finals right now. They need some wins to get up there. Now the schedule will help them. They don't have to win them all, but they got to find a couple wins in there, and then they've got a sub district where they're going to be playing Seward in the first round. Winner plays York. Well, Seward is. I know the boys would like another shot at Seward. That first game of the year, boys didn't get off to a very good start here, and I think they'll play them tougher in York. We assume this will be, and then you got York in the championship game. So there are no easy paths into a district final for the boys because they're into the season schedule.
Yeah, we'll talk about this down the road, but we play York the last game of the season, pretty close. So
at home, bunch of home games at the end of the year, so that should help. All right, let's flip over to the girls' side. Did you see the girls at all?
I saw a little of Elkhorn North, and I saw a little bit on the game on the Columbus game.
Well, that Columbus game is more enjoyable. Elkhorn North, they're just good. I mean, you're talking about a Division I recruit, and honestly, that other girl who transferred in, where'd she transfer in from?
North or Benson? It was one of those.
Fremont. I thought it was Fremont. It was Fremont. She's a heck of a player. They're loaded. What bummed me out was that the girls still kind of showed a little of that against Columbus. They hadn't recovered. You know, they got off to a really slow start. Columbus shot better than they've shot in years, and the girls just dug a hole. You know, you see the kind of games the girls need. They won that game at Aurora 38-30. They were right in the battle with McCook the whole way and lost 30-38. Really, this year, with being a little limited on our scoring, we need those scores in the 30s. And, of course, Columbus, we let them get to 52. We put our 33 up there, but it wasn't competitive.
They got to get the ball to go in the basket, and that's just the whole key. So get some confidence. And
now the girls have a schedule that'll be a little more confidence building. You know, I mean, they play some good teams, but it's not Murderers Row quite like the boys. Scotts Bluff, a very good team. Kind of your hope there is that Scotts Bluff girls might forget to get off the bus. You know, sometimes good teams put in a weird situation. Maybe they're not really ready to go. Maybe you catch them. But then at Grand Island Northwest, that's a game the girls can win. And then North Platte and Platteview at home, which I'll tell you, a weekend of North Platte and Platteview at home, Trenner, is a lot better than a weekend of North Platte and Platteview on the road like we had last year.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a huge turnaround. But North Platte's coming in with, I think, only 3 or 4 wins. Now they're playing a lot of Class A teams. Plattview's coming in with about 7 or 8 wins, but it's not the kind of offensive Platteview team they've been the last couple of years. You know, I think all 3 of those games, the girls are going to have to play well defensively, but they can be in those.
Yeah.
They're sitting about 21st in the point standings, which means they'd have to climb to 16th. You probably need to make up a point and a half. You're talking about having to win 4 out of your last 6 probably to have a chance to make that up. Their district path will be exactly the same as the boys. Seward in the first round at York, and then against York at York in the final if they win it.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what I looked at.
Okay, I thought somebody told me the girls were in another district.
They both read the same to me.
Okay,
I'm sure producer Tate will jump in if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know, so I had the wrong. Oh, Greg is right. Greg is
right. He just has a keystroke for that.
Yeah,
that he just hits like and it says Greg is right. He has to do that a whole lot. All right, let's shift over to wrestling. Wrestling went out to the big Lexington invite, and the name is escaping me right now. But that was a heck of an invite. A lot of great teams.
Yeah.
Bennington there, favorite in Class B, and they won it. That John Higgins invite. Bennington won it. Class A North Platte was second, and the Tigers came in third. Tucker Adams and Landon Widener were our champions. Of course, Landon's continuing his second straight winning season, all winning season. He's on a streak. He won't have enough matches, I don't think, to catch Pape for
No,
the 202 record.
I actually had a nice little conversation with the young man when I congratulated him with his 150 from last week. So he's going to make a climb, but he missed a lot of matches last year in his junior year. Court had his first loss. He ran into one of the Bennington kids, and it was good that we saw them.
Bennington slid a different wrestler into his weight class there. Very good kid. Yeah, they shifted their lineup a little bit, which you kind of like to see that. And I'm sure Mr. Court would like to get another shot, but we'll see if Bennington stays with that lineup forever. It might be a sign of something they might do in duels.
Yeah, so coaches were very happy with the performance, and they thought it was a good showing. We had a lot of second place finishes. They're just keeping the building and grinding. So we can go back and talk about the dual tournament from the week before. They won the GI Northwest dual tournament. They dominated it, very dominating fashion. Didn't give up more than, I would assume, double digits.
Did we wrestle Adams Central in that?
Yeah, we did wrestle Adams Central. They set a school record, 84 points.
Set a school record.
We did. And a defensive, and they posted a shutout. It was 84-0.
And that, you learned, is the most possible points to score in a duel, right?
And the funny part is Coach Laux. I often see Coach Geiger, Coach Laux, and Coach Kyle in my little roaming the halls that I do sometimes.
Oh, I thought maybe you were in the wrestling brain session.
No, I went to construction class with Coach Laux last Friday, so I learned a lot about basic cabinetry in the 40 minutes I was there. But they were very excited about that. 84 is the most points you can score. Do you know the former school record for most points scored in a duel?
I would say it was 79.
82. Ooh. Same tournament the year before. Landon did not get the only pin, or they had a forfeit. Landon won by majority, and you get 4 points for that. So that cost them the 2. It was 82-0 actually. So
you gotta get a pin or receive a forfeit to get maximum points.
Yeah, to get 6. Yep.
Okay, so we just went clean sweep with pins or forfeits.
Yeah, I think we had 7 pins in that match, and then 8, and then the equivalent with the forfeits that they didn't have any.
Who'd we beat in the finals of that?
We beat GI Northwest. Yeah, they were worried about that going into it. We had an injury that we're dealing with. The Anderson kid was a little banged up, but Coach Laux, a nice little chat with him the week before. They were very excited about that, taking care of business like they did. They stumbled against Waverly 2 days before that, and it sort of put their dual state qualification in a little flux because they go by the PowerPoints. That sweep in that dual tournament moved them up to 3rd. The coaches think they're setting pretty good, but they still have more wood to chop. They've got bigger things ahead of them, multiple individual state champs, and then chasing probably Bennington for the state title in the team races.
Well, hey, forget that. You know who's coming to town Thursday?
Swamp Rats.
Yeah, why would I keep this shirt on?
I know.
This is the biggest Grand Island Hastings game of the winter since the basketball teams aren't playing.
Ooh, I may have to go get some stuff. But I'm headed up there. It's the last home match. We're going to say goodbye to Widener and Court and all the seniors, Brumbaugh and EJ Johnson.
Yeah, good guy.
And, Tucker Adams. Man, I just rolled those names off. I'm pretty impressed. But
you're like a wrestling fan now.
What? I follow wrestling. I follow wrestling. I coached a lot of those guys. I coached Widener and Court. So
all right. Well, hey, we got some girls news too.
Yeah.
The Adams Central Hastings High Co-op finished 2nd at the John Higgins Invite at Lexington. A big invite. 16 teams now, mostly Western teams. Beatrice won it, but second place finish is nice. Our top Hastings High girl looks like it was Esmeralda Aguirre, who finished 4th in her weight class. So, our girls are helping out, and Coach Lanowski's got them going. And this is the first year. So every win is big. So 2nd place there, that's probably some hardware. They probably won a nice 2nd place trophy.
Yeah, they have a nice plaque. I saw Bennington's But
All
the
right.
funny part is a little side note, Bennington had some bus troubles, and luckily Lexington, you let them borrow a bus to get home. I saw that tweet, and they were thanking Lex for the ride home. So
Well, they would be we would have had to pick them up otherwise because, of course, they're a future conference member too.
yeah.
And so you got to bail out those
So
conference
I just
members.
thought that was interesting on my Twitter.
Yeah. All right. Well, swimming had a duel up at Columbus. And as far as I can tell from the interwebs trend, we won that duel. I
Huh?
can only find a story in the Columbus paper. And the Columbus paper says it was a triangular and Columbus finished second. But the only teams they mention in it are Hastings and Columbus. So I think maybe they're trying to make the Columbus finish look a little better, or they made up a mystery team.
Yeah.
But both the boys and girls outpointed Columbus by quite a bit. Had a great run there, and of course they're gearing up. They got the big Omaha West Side invite. A great pool there at West Side, hosted the state meet for quite a few years before Devaney got built. And West Side, West Side to me is swimming, Trend. When we were in school,
Oh yeah.
West Side was winning and winning and winning for decades.
West Side and Southeast, Lincoln
Yep.
Southeast.
The West Side invite's a big deal. So the swimmers are headed there, and then everybody's getting ready for home stretch.
Yeah. Wrestlers are right. Dual State's the first weekend in February, so they're knocking on the door of that. I know they go to Papillion, and then they have the Big Gish, the GI High duel tomorrow, last home meet for the Tigers. So,
all right. Well, what about bowling?
oh,
Bowling
bowling!
last home meet.
They've had the snow caught up with them a little bit the last 2 weeks, and they're grinding down. They have districts next week, so they lost to powerful Lex team, Lexington, yesterday in a makeup duel that they sort of did on the fly. The boys, Lex boys, are pretty legit. We ran into them. We saw them in Unified bowling, and a lot of their top bowlers were there, and they were very impressive. The girls lost 3-2 in Baker, so they did really well, and our girls team is strong. So the JV boys is what I have the most info about. They dominated their matches. Zach Just, the JV bowler who I work with, he had a really good. He bowled a 150, so I found that out on the bus this morning.
All right. Well,
next week.
This is the first year we've had Class A and B in bowling.
Yeah.
Do you know who's in our district for bowling?
No, I have not looked.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I'm checking to make sure. Yeah, I think they're the same. All right. I'll tell you, we're hosting here in Hastings.
We're hosting
here in Hastings.
Oh,
so
wow.
Start guessing. Who are you guessing?
GN Northwest? No.
Okay, you got one.
Oh,
There's
wow.
4 schools besides Hastings. You got one of them.
Boone Central?
No Boone Central.
Aurora?
Boone Central is up in the Columbus Lakeview one.
Oh, Aurora?
I don't see any sign of Aurora. Do they bowl?
Yeah, they should. I don't know.
I don't see them.
Lexington better not be coming.
No Lex. They're out west.
That's good.
They're hosting. They've got Arapahoe, Ogallala, and Southern Valley. Let me give you a hint. We've got a team along the interstate to the east that's not Aurora.
York.
Yeah. And then we've got a team that's really close to them.
Centennial?
Nope. Don't go along the interstate anymore. Go south towards the Speedway.
Fillmore Central.
Nope, you went too far south.
Wow. McCool Junction?
McCool Junction's in our district. I'm pretty sure this is the first time ever Hastings and McCool Junction in the same district.
Yeah, I may have to, and we're hosting that. What days are those on?
February 1st, it looks like to me.
Okay, so yeah, it's
looks like Wednesday. Girls on January 31st.
Oh, that's Tuesday.
They're both on January 31st.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, we've got the early district. Lots of the districts aren't till the next day.
All right, so that's good.
The Superior Wildcats are the last team.
Oh, so York's the only one I've seen, and they have some good bowlers. We ran into them in Unified, and it was down to us and them. They're what would be their bowlers now were pretty solid. So, but I believe in our guys. So
I do too, and I think it's the opposite of last year. I think our girls maybe are a step up on the guys a little bit.
Yeah, the boys. Yeah, I just think they're just
competitive.
Yeah, and they just need to take care of business. That's what I say about our boys. I know most of them.
Okay, you ready for my nominees
Oh wait,
for
yeah. So
my
did producer
nominees for greatest finishes in
this way?
Hastings High?
Show choir had their
Oh, you got show choir. Talk
they
show
had their
choir.
tiger. What do they call that? Tiger.
It's a great name, Tren. You should know it.
Tiger Clash. Yeah. So I don't know if he has the video or anything or a picture. He doesn't. So maybe we'll talk about that more next week. They hosted the Tiger Clash. We did not perform in it, which
Yeah,
I'm going to learn more about that for next week.
that's how it works. You got to
Yeah.
run it.
So we did it at the end. That was sold out. It's about one of the few times I think there was a couple musicals. Charlie Brown, or there was a couple musicals that we've had that have filled almost, but every seat was full. The new lighting system was amazing in the video I've seen. We can talk about that more next week. They just keep getting better, Coach Mr. Yost says. They had a good performance in Omaha their first week. The group, the guys and gals have done awesome, Coach said, Mr.
All
Yost.
right.
So we'll
Well,
try to get some more pictures of that because that was really impressive, and it just shows how much the community, the alumni, and the foundation have supported the auditorium project and how impressive. And I just want to show it off because
and how many people it took to run that?
yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
there were people
impressive.
posted all day to help schools move their equipment in and out.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
it's a huge operation.
and
Here,
we can talk about that more next week. We have some fun facts that I found out about that,
okay.
especially going down to how much chicken strips they sold
Well,
or
I
something.
got a number I want you to
Oh,
find. If the auditorium was full, how many people were in there? What's capacity?
I actually know somebody that counted the chairs.
We'll find that out for next
Yeah,
time.
as part of an initiation a long, long time ago for for thespians, he counted the chairs. So
All right.
if not, I will go count the chairs. Just producer Tate wanted to mention Mrs. Douglas, Tracy Douglas was the
NSI triple A. That's the Athletic Directors Association. A
yeah.
lot
I'm
of
glad
people
you
were in
tried that,
polo
not
shirts,
me.
Trent. A lot of
So
people in polo shirts.
yeah. So in AD District 4 AD of the year, very
Yeah.
impressive. She does a great job supporting all of our activities and sports, and it's a tireless job that she does and her assistant.
Well,
They
she
do an
looks
awesome
tired
job.
sometimes.
What?
She looks tired
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's always tired.
There's a
Um,
lot to do. I know Monday night when she had games Monday night and you don't usually, she was looking forward to it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
she's dragging.
All right. Okay, you're not ready for your nominations for the greatest Tiger ending of all time, our Mount Rushmore. I got
Uh,
some I want you to think about.
okay, that's
I'm
fine.
just going to make a quick run through. Okay. I've got 1976, Mark McVicker hits the shot at Grand Island to beat number one Grand Island.
I was 5.
McVicker hits the shot. I've got Kalen Schultz's home run
Oh,
in 2020.
2020, 2020. Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah,
because
2020.
that was when the festival seating came to the
She,
outfield.
she was a junior.
Yeah,
She makes the Millard North boys have a conniption on the
and
strive. Yeah, and
and
we've got a clip of that.
she sent our friends from up 281 and gold and black home, and they weren't very happy. So that's always nice.
1997, another road game at Lincoln Northeast. Pat Trader hits the baseline jumper to complete the 18-point comeback against Lincoln Northeast. You mentioned this one last week. Tripe and Cole combine on the sack to win the Lincoln Southeast State Championship game at Seacrest.
22 Kansas.
22 Kansas. I've got one when I was playing, overtime win over Grand Island. Todd Mathias forces a fumble. We win 7-6. He forces the fumble on the 2-point conversion in overtime against Grand Island.
I do have one.
What do you got?
What about State Tourney when Bo has the tip in and then takes the charge at the end?
To beat Alliance.
Yeah, that gets them to the second round.
Yep.
And continued that magical run from football to the next spring for basketball. The tip in is amazing. Maybe we can get producer Tate to pull
We can
that one
find
out of
that
the
one.
archive.
That may be, if we ever do most athletic plays I've ever seen at Hastings High, that one's a definite
And I
Mount
know we had a little Twitter conversation because I thought the charge was more impressive that he took, because that would either
Rushmore.
tied or won the game.
Yeah.
And he took the charge, and of course the Lions isn't very happy.
Just to speak for the guys who played with Bo, I would say anything he did on the defensive end would count for them. I saw Ralston had a big win. They beat somebody the other day. Coach Bo got a big win.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
The boys
I
played
got
pretty well.
a way back one. 1948, Chuck Stickles hits the shot, and then Bobby Reynolds, the famous Nebraska football player, Bobby Reynolds, misses a free throw on the other end. Hastings ends the state record, still the state record, 41 games in a row in Class A, Grand Island win streak.
Oh, yeah.
Producer Tate says freshman Mackenzie Long beating the Adams Central girls out at Adams Central on a drive to the hoop.
Oh, and then I'll do this one. Larry Brown. I don't think Larry Brown blocked the field goal. That was freezing.
He
the
swallowed
defense.
the field goal.
Well, he sacked the quarterback.
He had the big sack
the Count
before.
of Monte Cristo in the miracle pitches. That was game 9 or 8 of the undefeated season in '93. And then we get the big field goal blocked by Friesen, I think, and everybody goes nuts at H. Jones. About like 2,000 people there. It was a fun night, so that has to be up there too.
I've got basketball districts a couple years ago. QB1.
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
Sinek hit a big shot.
With the
That
tip
ought to
in.
be on the
And
list.
that will be up there with Bo's, because I think producer Tate has video of that one.
Well, and I'll tell you, Bo was great against Alliance, but I might put the innings of the 2 district games, including Coach Sage and Coach Curtis and Coach Johnson choosing to foul when we were ahead to take control of that game. I might put the 2 district games ahead of that.
And then I have a wild card one. Brett
Okay.
Larson hitting the 3 or something and got fouled against Columbus. That ring any bells? He hits the big.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Big shot. It was in that time. Maybe I think it was Pat, or it was Larson.
Did he fall down at the end? If he fell down at the end, it was Larson.
Well, yeah, and he got fouled, and we were down in like we were down like 6 going into the last minute, and he got fouled, hit that, and then we hit another 3. That was because we don't have that game on video at the end, because the Columbus people were going nuts and they unplugged the camera at the top or something, and we don't have the ending, but I'm sure that was one of those games. So there's one other one that I just can't. Let me think about it, and I'll have it for next week. Definitely. Okay. I had one other one. Then
I've got one other one. Ron Colley, Dudley with the putback. Tom Chick misses the shot. Dudley puts it back in at Pershing to beat Ron Colley in '98 and go to the semifinals.
I thought there was another softball one. Sophie didn't make any catches at the end.
I don't know. But you got to look into that, because next week we got to decide.
Yeah, I got to go hang out with Coach Blake for a while. I need to get back to pottery class.
Okay, well, Coach Blake is the one who gave me Kalen Schultz one. So.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
All right. All right. Well, let's wrap it up, Trent, because I got a text message. I got a kid stuck in the snow in the driveway.
Okay. Well.
All right.
So get out and watch wrestling. The basketball, they don't play at home. They're on the road. Hopefully our strive goes. Go Tigers. Get out and watch wrestling tomorrow.
Perfect. Go Tigers.